Chris, now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Vape Talk UK episode 112. No smire. Cryptic. Joining me this week, we have got Mr. Chris JB of Psychosis Inc. fame. Say hello, mate. We have got Mr. Mark Dollan of Being Very Tall fame. Say hello, Mark.
Yes, Dan.
And our special guest this week, our auditionee. You know him as, well, Jono, but Durty Cotton Reviews. It's Jono Clarke. Say hello, mate.
How's
everybody doing this week? You all had a good week?
Somebody just let James Clarke in.
Let him in? What do you mean let him in?
Well, he does that. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. It's Scott.
I thought you said Harry Potter Reviews, and I was called Jono Severus Snape. So I laughed, thinking you were making a funny, but you said Dirty Cotton, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit too much. You being.
I call Jono circa 1991 Robbie Williams.
He's loving Brill Cream instead.
Oh, the show's off to a fucking fine start today.
I'm just glad Jono's got a job, because his weekly hair care products must be either sky high or non-existent.
Are we just getting all the abuse out of the way before we start?
Yeah, because once
he flow through you.
Do you want me to thank God it's glad I said Brill Cream, not KFC? Because then you know
when he starts speaking, people will think we're bullying him because he's a bit weird.
Do you want me to save some of my shit to throw for later?
Speaking of a bit weird, I've got a string of abuse here on Facebook from Kev Lester because Badger timed him out in the chat. He's messaged me saying, "Fuck you all if I cannot comment." So I was Badger, not me, Mardas.
Technically, this is definitive. See, technically, this is definitive proof that there are a string of abuse offences.
I think it's definitive proof that we've upset Kevin tonight. So
well, Badger has. I'm not taking it for Badger. Badger.
Can everyone just PM him? Can everyone just PM him? And nothing else.
Kev, if you PM Badger and apologise, maybe he will untime you out.
I think we should make him sit on the naughty step. In fairness,
it's 300 seconds anyway. He'll be back in a minute. He's probably unblocked by now.
Yes, but he can only count to 7, so he's going to be counting to 7 repeatedly for about.
I'm not taking that joke where you want me to, mate. I'm not doing it. So
on the way to the schoolyard. Anyway.
Should we talk about what we've been vaping on, guys? Should we maybe... who wants to start this week? Should we start with Jono, the guest?
Yeah, don't start me, because I'm still building.
Yeah, that's standard. Jono, what are you vaping on this week, mate?
I am on my usual all-day suicide series with Death Trap, and on that I am vaping Marmalade. And secondly, I'm on the Tesla 2.3 with the Pandora.
What's one of them?
This very weird concoction of custard pastry and brown sugar, which is the Vulcan Brothers Hakucha.
Oh, this is shit.
So,
sorry.
Jono, was that juice, Jono? Was that little juice on there?
it was, I don't know, I'll say we're a weird concoction, but it is bloody lovely. It's very, very nice.
Oh, good. Good.
Hakucha.
Yeah, I would know because, Stu's not sent me any.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'll get round to it, Chris. Calm down.
I should be top of your priorities, dickwad.
Mark's had some, though.
What, if you'd have been bothered to come down to fest, you'd have got some, wouldn't you?
I can't, John. I'm injured, and, you clearly don't care about the disabled.
Injured. All right, Blue Badge, chill out.
This is shit, this thing.
The Goon Look.
Goon LP's crap.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Chris, we'll get to that when we ask you what you're vaping, all right? Calm down.
I'm not going to be vaping on it if it's this shit.
Well, we're going to do Mark next so that you've got a little bit longer to fucking tell us.
So what are you vaping on, Chris? Or should we say, what should you be vaping on, Chris?
Should be vaping on Goon LP, but for some fucking reason, the coils are touching the Ultim. Well, I presume that the RDA was supposed to be low profile, but not the fucking coils. They're not even big. I don't understand how they are filling up the deck space. Why put the clamps so the coil's going on top if you have to fold them around the clamps to fucking use it?
That's exactly why I've got 30 in the cupboard at work, mate.
Because you love them and you ordered loads.
I've got a beautifully built Goon LP on the other side
I
of the room.
literally have to leave the cap up like, I don't know, a good 5 mil, just so the coils don't touch the fucking thing.
To be fair, Chris, I'm not going to defend it at all because I think it's a piece of shit. I can't build on it to save myself. But somebody built one for me at the weekend and brought me one with a build in it. And if you actually somehow manage to decipher the code of how to build them, they vape fucking lovely.
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Build anything with coils less than 1 millimeter in the diameter.
No.
Well, clearly it is.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, it doesn't work how it's supposed to fucking work. I'll tell you that much, mate.
Yeah, it's fucking hard to get a build on. Really hard to
We'll
get
leave it like that and let it soak in and see what happens. Because at the minute, I'm convinced it's bollocks.
Okay, so Mark, what are you vaping on, mate?
I've got a bit of an apology to make, actually.
Oh, yeah.
A few weeks ago, when Squonkin went up on the boner board,
Yeah,
I gave Squonkin a bit of a hard time.
it's because it's shit.
I've actually given it a chance, and a proper chance, using half-decent equipment.
See, this is what happens when you jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Just saying, Michael Jackson is innocent.
What are you playing with, Mark?
A very good friend of mine, Mr. Jono Clarke, has he gone for a cry?
What, Chris?
Or has he just got to swear and throw things at the wall?
We've just gone for some chicken.
I'm still here, but I'm very close to losing my rag with this Goon LP, so I'm just hiding for a minute.
Stay on camera. It's sensation, Chris.
So, a very good friend of mine, James Clark, won the raffle at the weekend.
He did.
Which had a scrunker in it. He tried it for a day, didn't really get on with it, and I had it off him. I've got to say, I'm impressed.
I don't hear those words very often.
No, I must get myself a half. On top of that, the Firefly. Very nice.
Do you like that Firefly?
Huh?
You like that Firefly?
I do.
That was one of the atties that made me give up on Squonkin. I fucking hated it.
And I got a little bit carried as we left. And I bought the Venom X from Hellfire.
Ooh.
And the Soul S as well. Now,
Isn't it hard to remember the names of all these Squonkatties?
it is. I'm trying. Oh, it's the Wasp, not a Firefly. I'm a twat.
Wasp. Yeah, apparently the Wasp is better than the Firefly. Apparently the Wasp is a lot better, but they do look very similar.
Thanks, guys.
I'll tell you what, Squonks, Pandora.
Mark, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the chat are saying it's a Wasp. Either that or they've all simultaneously got a Wasp in their room.
Yeah, my bad. It's the Wasp.
The Wasp.
Yeah, I've not had a chance. I've put a build in the Soul, but I've not had a chance to play with a Hellfire yet. But one thing I do like about the Hellfire, and the one thing other than the finish and the build quality,
oh, that's nice.
that the bottle holds in. You want to change your bottle? Pull your top out. Change your bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Very nice.
So yeah, no, I'm so far I'm impressed. However, watch the sale pages in a few weeks because you'll know how fit I am. Does anyone want to buy a billet box?
Depends. What do you want for it?
Shut up, Chris. You've got enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give the rest of the world a chance. You didn't like that?
No, don't lick that.
I'll tell you what I do like about that Hellfire mod, Mark, is it reminds me a little bit of a Noisy Cricket, like the version 1 Noisy Cricket. And that's not a bad thing. The version 1 Noisy Cricket is a good-looking little guy.
a 2700 squonking mod.
Oh, it's a 2700 in your hands. It looks like a fucking little tiny thing, mate.
I don't. Have I got a cricket anywhere? I have got a cricket somewhere, but it's going to take me too long to find it. But yes, so far so good with the Firefly. No, I didn't say Firefly, the Wasp. Yeah, extremely happy. What juice am I on? All weekend, I've been vaping on TYV or what's Dale's new one called? The not the Boston Bad Boy, the
Bad Boy.
The what?
Bad Boy.
Yeah, that one. Absolutely incredible. And I finished the bottle today. No, I didn't. I finished it yesterday. And we had a delivery coming at work. No, I didn't. I picked it up at the fest actually. And I'm vaping on Mexican fried ice cream.
Oh yeah, I've had some of that. That's all right.
All right, it's incredible.
I didn't quite feel it was incredible, but I remember liking it a lot.
I like it a lot. I like it very lot. A lot.
I like it very lot.
A lot. And I'm not usually a sweet person. I don't like.
I think you're sweet.
Oh, I love you too, Chris. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like an overly sweet juice, but this is good. I've personally never tasted a fried Mexican, so I can't say how close it is.
Wow.
I think most Mexicans are fried, aren't they? It's hot out there.
But yeah, no, that's my bag. I'm sat here with 2 bottles of Fantasy lemonade that I've got to try. I've not. Very nice.
Isn't it fantasy?
Fantasy.
Oh, whatever.
Or fantasy. Well, I don't fucking know.
Shit.
That lemonade is quite good.
Any of you try ecstasy lemonade?
Is that stuff in that scary blue bottle that you had at the shop?
That's what happens when you get spiked and you're supposed to be driving.
That's exactly the stuff that absolutely makes you wretch. It's got similar sort of flavour profile to that, but without the Antarctic going on in your lungs.
Nice.
It's terrifying. Ecstasy or whatever it's called. Genuinely scary. You can't drink water after you've vaped it.
No, you can't.
You can't, it just cuts your throat.
No. It's like eating chilies. But I think we'll save the chili eating talk until later. I think we're going to spend a bit of time talking about Fest.
Probably spend a little bit of time talking about Fest. It'd be rude not to. Fest was all right, wasn't it?
It would. So over to Barker then. Mr. JB, what you vaping on? Sorry, don't just steal your lines, Stu. You're presenting this week, aren't you?
Mate, you go ahead.
Unfortunately, I'm vaping on this fucking Goon LP thing. It's a bag of shit.
Sounds all right.
It's all right. It's working. That's a start. I'm vaping on Drag Race, which I've only just worked out that this little thingy comes off so you can drip through there.
I've just realised, Chris, do you know when you packaged some Pandora caps up to me, you threw your rubbish in that box, didn't you?
I did, for a reason, because the box gave extra support to the flaps. But yeah, this
Barker's always one to give extra support to the flaps.
I've been pulling this fucking thing off and then have dripping it out the whole bottle, and I realised that this little thingamajiggy comes off.
What the fuck is that bottle supposed to be?
It's a NOS tank, nitrous cars.
Oh, I see.
Some Malaysian Kulava lychee thingamajiggy. It's actually really nice.
The grape one's really good.
Yeah, but the problem is this is shit, so it kind of devalues it. I mean, I have got this built with it in, but it's been sitting there on the side for a week. It's still lively. I might give that another go. So in that case, I'm not vaping the Goon LP because it's wank. I'm vaping a frost box with. I'm trying to line the air holes up.
Struggle bus this week, any guys?
I'm not with it, lads. I was trying to line the air holes up with a Pandora on, cloud cap, and this nitrous oxide, whatever it's called. Yeah, so I'm vaping that, and I am vaping the Old Faithful. That definitely nicer than Mark's Bullet Box. Yeah, 45 milligram, whatever it is, and thingy in it.
Is that just a wrap covered with coloured paddles?
Yes, and a button and a tip. Button made. Look, you want to see this guy? I made this of my own hand. Is that what did you say? What did you say? I made this myself.
Oh, look at that! Oh, he done that himself, bless him.
Yeah, that matches me purpley bit.
Kinda.
Shut it, you dickhead. But yeah, I made that myself. I've been getting lessons off my good pal Sean, Bessie Goldsmith, and yeah, I think I'm getting the knack of it.
So far, how much acrylic have you wasted?
None. I've actually, oh wait, that's a lie. I've made one tip that I'd accidentally made a bit too small, but the rest of them all work fine. Some of them are a bit of odd shape. I've got one in there actually that's better than that one, which I'm going to go get now while I pass it over to. Have you said what you're vaping on, Stu?
No.
I'm going to pass over to Stu, and I'm going to run and go and grab the nice one because I thought that was a nice one. I realised it's not the nice one. Back in a minute.
All right then. Well, I was just hoping to get a second to juice my atties before he passed it to me, so I'm just going to do that now. This week I am mostly vaping. I've been on my Me one again because this just keeps me alive, like essential setup. And I've been, thanks to Risa, very kindly reunited with Slime from Vaping King. I had intended to pick some up from Just Add Nick, and their entire supply of it never made it to Fest, which really made me sad. Because I'd spoken to John before the show about wanting to get some, because this is fucking lovely. I don't even like fruity vapes. It's like a lime candy lemonade kind of bullshit, and it's fucking incredible. What you say, mate?
It is nice.
Yeah, it's delicious, absolutely delicious. So that wasn't available. That wasn't available at Fest for me. Risa had a load left over, mixed me some up at 15 milligram, and made me a very happy boy. Then I've got a new frost box that I picked up at the weekend. The rat look, the new rat look that they're doing. Nice little yellowing. And we've got red interior on that. Goon 22 in there, and a beautiful tip from Sean, Bessie. Yeah, see, Chris, you're not that good, mate.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. So that's that one. And then I've got, on there, I've got toasted oil from Thick Oil, which I was always a very firm fan of Lion's Oil. I always said that Lion's Oil was the best one in the range. I liked Kellis as well. I quite liked Butter, but Lion's was always my favourite. I'd never tried this. I picked it up off Mark at the weekend, and I absolutely fucking adore it. It has,
yeah, I've got mine.
It has raced ahead in my affections of even Lion's Oil, and fuck me, do I love Lion's Oil. This stuff is beautiful. So thoroughly enjoying that. And then last in my lineup is another new Rat Look frost box, because you can never actually have too many frost boxes apparently. This is a blue rat, and you can see like down at the bottom it's ratted all the way back down to the stainless in some areas, which is pretty sweet. And there I've got a Druga, which is an RDA I swore I'd never touch, but it's not actually too bad. It's average. The flavour's all right off of it. I just wish the build quality was a little bit nicer. But, you know, they're 28 quid or 27 quid or whatever, so can't cry too much. The tip on that is from Custom Vapes. And in there I'm shamelessly once again vaping my own juice, because fucking custard is the one, mate. And I really like my custard. So that's Hakacho from Vulcan Brothers. That's everyone, isn't it? Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is everyone, isn't it? Yeah, that's everyone. Good. Good. Someone in the chat just asked me, is that Risa's Druga? And it isn't Risa's Druga, it's my Druga. We just both happen to have a black one. So yeah, what do we want to start with? Do we want to start with Jono's topic, or do we want to start with yours, Mark?
What's mine?
You said you had something. You said you had content this week. Did you lie?
I haven't got content. I have some bits and bobs to interject with, but yeah, we'll hold back on those. We'll hold back on those.
Why are you dressed like Barney the dinosaur?
Because I've just been to a child's birthday party and I had to dress up. What can I say?
Were you invited, or did you just turn
No,
up?
I just turned up, mate.
Was that you on the hoverboard at Fest?
Huh?
Was that you on the hoverboard at Fest?
Yeah, that was actually my brother.
We just saw a random how they kept coming past.
Every time he fell over.
So, Jono, what colour underpants you wearing?
Grey. A dark grey.
Were they white ones?
Sorry. How the fuck do you even know that? Anyone ask me what colour pants I'm wearing? I have got no fucking idea. Does anyone actually pay attention at that time in the afternoon when they're getting dressed?
Afternoon.
Yeah.
he actually makes me send stuff to him. Normal first class delivery, because guaranteed before 1 p.m. there's a good chance he's not going to be in the shop.
And that's a true story.
That is a fucking true story as well. I want to show something quite cool I got actually from DH Gate, or what was that one I said earlier?
Fast Tech with big MOQs, yeah.
Yeah, one of those. One of the fast tech people. Telecommunications tools. It's a tool set designed for iPhones and shit, but it's actually incredibly handy for vaping. So ignoring these tools here, because they're for taking off screens and shit. Look at this. Fancy.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking little doodad, isn't it?
Yeah, 14 note or something. It's pretty fucking handy. Little magnetic case, hard case and all. It's not cardboard, it's plastic. But it's quite handy to build with.
Nice.
Out of that, how many tools are you actually going to use?
Like 3.
No, there's actually quite a few. I mean, there's tweezers in here. There's crosshead, flathead, star screwdrivers, all different hex screws, extensions. These I probably won't use. The little socket sets up to, I think it goes up to 8 mil. No, 6 mil. And I don't know what the fuck the purpose of this would be. It's like a flathead, it's like a crosshead screw built into a socket set. So this is to test whether your screwdriver works or not. I don't know what the fucking purpose of it is. And this is quite handy. It's like a little sucker to pull the screen off with a little thing to take the SIM card out. So I might use that for other purposes. But
it might be a bit big for my screen though.
Where's your swipey downy screen?
I threw it at the wall at Fest.
Good lad.
No, she's here.
I was going to say, the wall, meaning most of the buildings or tents, it probably wouldn't do much damage, would it?
No, probably not. Unless you're, yeah. I'm not going to carry on.
So, Jono, you bought a topic this week.
I did.
Can I just before Jono starts?
I'm going in.
I just want to ask a question.
Please be insulting. Please be insulting.
No, it's not insulting. Chris.
No, go on, here we go.
Please be insulting.
I thought it was aimed at John.
No, I know Stu's quite you're quite a musical guy, aren't you? You play the guitar.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've had renditions from you in the past.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chris?
What?
You a musical kind of guy?
A little bit, I suppose.
Chris is wicked at beatboxing.
I don't know whether that's sarcasm.
No, that's true.
No, seriously, do you play an instrument?
I can play guitar a little bit, but not a lot.
Good singing voice?
I don't know. It depends how much I've had to drink.
So how good it sounds to you then, not everyone else?
Well, to be honest, I've had good feedback, but I personally can't stand listening to it. Like listening to myself sing. Does that make sense? But I think it's weird because in your head it always sounds better than it is when it's out loud.
Yeah. Same question to you then.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, shit.
I did not know about this.
Nor did I. You sing, Jono.
I knew he could sing.
Well, usually the old rules applied, and I think we should bring them back for the show, where you got to show off your talent.
I think so.
I think we could. Right, Bugsy, Simon, Cal. We're gonna judge you, Jono.
Not a prayer.
Come on. I'm not going to judge you based on the monobrow in that picture. I'm going to judge you based on the singing voice. You do look a bit like Susan Boyle in that picture. I'm not going to lie. But
I'm not related like you.
Can the chat get involved and tell us what song they would like Jono to sing, please?
I ain't singing.
I've actually only ever heard good things about Jono's singing voice. I've literally never heard anyone take the piss, even people that always take the piss.
Well, Kev says please don't sing.
Yeah, but Kev doesn't count.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I want you to prove Kev wrong.
You see, I got no idea. It wasn't until the weekend when I was dishing for dirt on him over at
Is there a video? Is there a video?
I don't know. You'd have to ask.
I'll tell you what.
Jono.
Right, if there's a video, if you play the video, Jono, we'll.
Hang on. He might not have to play the video, Chris. Is there a video, Jono?
No, I don't know.
Your fucking hopes aren't going to be realised.
Damn it, I was hoping I could reverse psychology the video out of him.
Well, Jono, if there is a video and you play it, we will tell you. We will let you get away with not singing live. How's that?
What if I post it up later?
No.
On the group.
No, we want it live now. Go get the video. Get her to send you it. Bluetooth me it if you want. We can send it around school.
I ain't got it from me at X Factor.
Bluetooth me. You're in fucking Scotland, Chris.
Yeah, taking the piss. I also said I'd share it around school, and guess what? I'm not in school anymore. Come on, Jono. We will literally pause the show, stop right here, forget all other conversation until we see this video.
James, when have you ever heard me sing Sound of Silence? I'm having a look through some of these.
Don't tell me you haven't got Schmool on your phone.
No.
Yeah, right. You got auto rap, haven't you?
No, I'm not top.
So you can do the sing, and then you can whack in a bit of Little Wayne.
Right, Tom's put on Kevin Little turned me on. Now that's mine and Tom's song. We're in car. We were coming back from I think Shady.
I don't think we want to hear any explanation for this.
Guys, Riyad's saying in the chat that he's found it on YouTube.
Riyad, get in here. Send Riyad the link.
Yeah, send Riyad the link to jump in then.
Right.
Do you know what? I don't even know which one it is.
Right, I'm getting him in. This is the problem.
This is your last chance to sing live, or Riyad's going to come in and play the video.
And the thing is, the problem is.
I'll play the video anyway.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're into video. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm Control V, Command V, whatever it is. Come on, Facebook, don't be. It's taking ages.
Is there actually a video? Because I can't remember if there is one or not.
Seems like it.
It's happening. I've sent him the link.
Either that or it's going to be a piss take. Or it is actually going to be Susan Boyle.
I've been sent the link.
You need to play this live, Chris.
I'm going to play it right now. Let me just mute myself. So
I'm intrigued now.
Waiting patiently, Chris. Take your time. We're not live or anything.
You ready for this?
London? You alright, guys?
Why even me?
What's your name? I'm Rylan.
I'm Jono.
I'm Jono.
Jono.
How did you get your hair that shiny, Rylan? Oh, this ain't my hair.
Right, come on, Jono. You're singing live. Riyadh fucked me. He didn't have the real video.
Classic Riyadh. Classic Riyadh.
Right, that's 10 minutes of content we didn't have to find. Jono, what was your conversation this evening? You're welcome, guys.
Oh, Jono, you are singing.
I'll drop one in group later.
No, Chris, let it go.
Yeah, he can sing that if he wants.
Yeah. There we go. Go on, Jono. Gives a little blast of Frozen. Go on.
Oh, fuck that. No, because it'll end up being bloody metal version that Alaska was onto.
I'll tell you what, Stu, give him a backing track.
Give him a backing track. But I'd have to know a song that he knows how to sing, and it won't sync properly because it's over fucking Google.
You know the theme to the classic 90s TV show Rainbow?
I don't actually know.
Jono, sing, because you're just going to bore everyone now.
Well, let them be bored because it ain't happening.
Guys, everyone in chat, +1 to hear Jono sing, +2 for us to shut the fuck up and move on. Over to you.
That's 3 for us to kick Jono off the show and just carry on as normal.
It's in your hands, chat. It's in your hands.
I mean, to be honest, I think that he kind of fails his audition if he doesn't sing. In general, that one.
+2, all +2 to shut the fuck up and carry on. Oh, 3, kick him off. Yeah, one.
A lot of people want to hear him sing. See, Jono, your public wants to hear you perform. That's the thing, you know. When you're an artist,
there's way more +1s than 2s.
Oh, I don't know. There was a lot of 2s toward the end.
There was a few 2s.
I'll tell you what, Jono. Stand up and face the wall, so then you don't have to see your audience.
Well,
you don't want to imagine me naked, pal.
I'm seeing a lot of +2s. Let's just carry on.
This ain't over. This is
not over.
Yeah, we'll get you, Jono Clarke. We'll get you.
Yeah, Jono, what did you want to talk about? Don't care. Anyway.
Karaoke, to be honest. I won't live it down if I don't fucking do it.
No, we'll call back on you. You can sing us out. Saves us pretending we're on the phone.
Do you not remember that intro theme song that we did, Jono, for the 100th episode?
Yeah.
I can send you the lyrics to that if you want.
Talk UK. I can't sound like you though.
I'll tell you what, you are very good at sounding like Kev Lester though. That's something.
I am very good at sounding like Kev Lester.
Every fucking time.
Can you just say in your best Kev Lester impression, "No, I'm not outside your house in the bushes."
No, Badger, why did you block me? Do you know what? Because I do it too much to Kevin.
And he deserves it.
Quite honestly, this weekend he were an absolute star. He really was a star. He cooked for us.
Yeah, weren't just
Give us a reach around. You know, it was absolutely fantastic.
do you know what? That's actually a very fair point. Big fucking shout out to Kev this weekend. He brought down fucking bacon sarnies and sausage sarnies and did barbecues in the evening and all sorts. He properly looked after everyone, Kev did.
Honestly, he were an absolute star this weekend at Fest, so big shout out to you, big man.
Yeah, mate, you'd have got barbecue. You love barbecue.
If he was at Fest, who was looking after Maddie?
Oh,
Right, come on. 50 on. Back to vaping.
Easy, Tiger.
It made me laugh. I think it was Saturday evening, Saturday evening, one of the two. Rick and I, we'd ordered pizzas for most of the people on camp. Anyway, I got a message from Just Eat to say it's been delivered. So whilst we stood there watching a woman piss herself,
literally or?
Huh?
Literally or?
Oh, literally pissed herself.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, somebody actually pissed himself.
He pissed herself, stood at the front gate. Anyway, coming back, driving back, and we saw this character kneeling at the side of the road, and we're like, the fuck is that? And it was Kev trying to light a barbecue on the floor, disposable barbecues I've not laughed so much in a long time. It was so funny.
There was actually a guy who, like me and Tom were laughing, and it was just as we turned round, there was a guy who walked round, and he was just walking past casually, just filming him, trying to light this barbecue, and he was just going past filming him.
What was he trying to light?
It was so bad for him, but it was just so funny at the time.
What was he trying to light it with?
Matches.
Well. No, because we got some disposable barbecues from Tesco. Tom apparently didn't like the corner. He just lit the edge, which was completely wrong, apparently. So Kev had the ingenious idea of getting the cardboard and chucking it in the coals, which it did the job. But no, it was good. It was great.
And it got lit, and then the pizzas turned up, and everyone ignored it.
Yeah.
So how was Fest, guys? Because I wasn't there.
Thought we were doing Jono's topic before Fest.
We're there, aren't we?
We're already there, yeah.
Oh well, we'll fucking do Fest then.
How was it?
Plans.
How was it?
Yeah, it was alright.
It was all right. Not much.
Jono's topic now.
You know, it's one of those if you know kind of things.
Yeah, rep what you love, innit?
To be honest, for the first time goer, for me, it was an eye-opening experience. It was really nice.
Was it your first Fest?
Yeah, my very first Fest.
Did you have a good time, Jono? That's the real question that everyone wants to know.
What's that?
Did you have a good time? That's what the viewers have turned up for. That's what 45 people have turned up for tonight.
But it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It was just nice, you know, seeing people who I know, seeing new faces as well. It was just the whole experience itself. I mean, when Tom said to me that it is about the community, I thought, oh yeah, right, whatever. But no, it truly is about the community, and you know, you're coming together and you know, talking. Like I say, you know, the people that you know, but the fresh faces that you see. I mean, I spoke to a lot of new people that I've never even heard of. And they were just such pleasant people.
Did you eat a century egg?
Honestly, there's two things that I avoided this weekend. That was the century eggs and the chilies.
Fucking century eggs. Century eggs have terrified me since I first discovered what they were, maybe like 14 or 15 years old. And it's always been on my list of, like, I'm fairly adventurous with food, you know, because obviously I was a chef. It's always been on my list of things that I would just never touch. Just no. It's a strict no from me, regardless.
It made me laugh on Sunday afternoon. There was a 10-bottle challenge in Dale's. Dale's in the 2RV Vape-esque marquee. And basically, if you could eat a century egg and then one of the hottest chilies in the world, you'd get 10 free bottles.
What chili was it?
Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper, yeah.
It's good.
Never seen so many grown men, cry and throw up at the same time.
I had to go at the powder, the chili powder.
Yeah,
that was
bad. Mark Elliott. I met Mark in a 2IV tent. Lol, that cunt's a big unit. Cheers, Mark.
He is quite tall, isn't he? I've said that before, once or twice.
No, I generally had an awesome weekend. You know, it was great. As we always say, it's awesome to catch up with all the people that we catch up with. Quite ironically, people that tend to watch the show don't tend to call me Mark. So as I'm walking around Fest or standing in the marquee, people come over and say Dollan. You tend to know where they're from. So big shout out to all you guys that came over, said hello. Yeah, no, it's just great to catch up with people.
I'll tell you, it was an interesting one for me. It was a tricky one because obviously, I think you guys all know this, but I don't know how many other people do. But Mark was obviously doing a preview of my juice line for me, which meant that my products were being represented there, and there were 3 members of my team there as well. Sort of mod with them, and they were sort of going around and just, you know, doing what they do. So the brand was sort of represented there. But I'd been booked to work for Endless back at Expo, and by the time the opportunity came up with Mark for the juice to be there and stuff, it was too soon to the event for me to say to Endless, you know, look, can't really do the event, need to be there representing my own brand, sort of thing. So, you know, obviously, not a problem. I'll split my time. I'm thinking to myself, fuck me, it's hard to split your time at an event like Fest. God, it's a challenge. You've got people coming up to you when you're trying to work saying, you know, this and that about you. You want to be rude and you want to, you know, you want to give a good impression of your brand, but like, I'm on this guy's payroll. I can't now. Fucking, it was a challenge, a real challenge.
Especially with the thunderstorm.
Yeah.
You
oh,
2.5 hours into somebody else's tent.
So it was hilarious. There was one point I went to try and do a lap. Tom said, you know, I'll nip off for a bit if you want, and I went to try and do a lap, and it must have taken me an hour to get round because I had to keep hiding in people's tents from the rain because all I was wearing was like a hoodie.
That sounds interesting.
You missed out, Chris. You missed out.
I know I would, but life gets in the way sometimes.
When you're lazy, yeah.
Yeah. Jono, what was badge on about?
There were the one vendor that I wanted to see, and I was not disappointed in the slightest, and that were Cotswold Vapor. I've never heard of them before, never tried any juice, and their 2 ranges that I've got are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I picked up that. It's Key Lime Crunch, and it's absolutely amazing. It reminds me of it's like Element Key Lime Cookie, which used to be one of my all-day vapes, but there's more. It's like more depth in it. There's a lot more flavour there for me. But they've got like strawberry donut and stuff, and the golden flapjack that were absolutely amazing as well. Really,
that golden flapjack, I tried some of that. It tasted to me like Yogi, but without the raisins.
Yeah, I mean, it was very oaty, you know, like flapjack should be.
The thing about Yogi that I never used to like is whatever it was that gave it that raisiny flavour also made it really fucking sickly sweet. And because it wasn't there, that golden flapjack was fucking nice, really nice.
So, Jono.
In fact, the guy actually gave me one of the ranges just
But you know, you did all right on free shit at the weekend then, didn't you, Jono?
To be honest, mate, I did. I were on team free shit. Yeah, I did lose my job, but now I'm back on the job train again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did pay my way. I did pay for that Key Lime Crunch and the toasted oil as well, you know, quite happily. Bottle of that because that stuff is just, it's like crack. It's so moreish.
There you go, Mark. He was willing to pay for your juice. He weren't willing to pay for mine, mate. Yeah. Fucking great mate you are, Jono.
Yeah.
Stu, how did the pregnancy go?
Yeah, really, really easy, actually. Yeah, straight, just in and out, mate. No problem.
Oh, never laughed so much in my life.
We're in danger of that becoming very in-jokey. We probably shouldn't cover that in too much depth.
We can go into detail if you like. You've got some strange friends.
I think we probably should avoid that one. It's probably better to just be funny for the people that were there, you know?
I know Dale was in tears.
Mate, I was in tears. It was fucking brilliant.
So coming in, are we going to main topic it?
Oh, you feeling left out, Chris?
A little bit.
So isn't the main topic the evolution of Jono's hairstyles?
Which leads me to my second set of photos. Well done. Well.
I bet Jono's arsehole's never winked so many fucking times in his life as on this show.
And wait, well, I might as well be wearing a bloody pair of Tenorman. Just bloody adult nappies.
You okay, man?
My arsehole's just gone.
I was joking, by the way. Please continue.
Right. Yeah. I know we've gone on to you know, spoke about his journeys, about how we quit smoking, started vaping, but it's more I was more curious about the people who actually vape who never smoked. Yeah, it's a lot of the younger generation now because they are quite influenced by it. by big plumes of cloud and, you know, all the varieties of flavors and stuff. And I was really intrigued on what, like, your guys' views were on it. I mean, Lewis, who you met at Fest Show, you know, he's a decent lad. You remember Lewis?
Sloth.
Yeah, Vaping Sloth. Yeah, he's
a good kid.
You know, he's a good lad, very young lad. But I asked him. I didn't know this until after Fest, but apparently he'd been, you know, socially smoking before. But he just went full on into vaping, and that's what he loves doing now. He works at a shop. He wants to open. He's got ambitions to open his own. But I says, you know, how did you actually get into it? And he just like says, you know, my friend smoked, and you know, I would kind of like part time doing it, just the odd one. But when he didn't go down the route of that, he went straight into vaping. So it wasn't a case of actually quitting; he just went straight to vaping.
See, I think it's a bit of a tale of two halves, isn't it? Because you've obviously, we know, got kids that are picking it up instead of smoking.
Yeah.
Obviously, kids get into smoking in their early teens. That's happened for years. I got into smoking in my early teens. I think all of us we probably got into smoking in our early teens. And we know that that's always been a thing. So now with how prolific vaping is and the rise in popularity of vaping and vaping culture, it makes sense that kids would be getting into vaping around the same time they get into smoking. And so that's one side of your vapers who have never smoked before they vaped. And that's sort of, I feel like that's kind of covered ground. We've not really been into that. But what does interest me about this topic is the people who haven't smoked, are adults, and choose to take up vaping, and why they would do that. I mean, I happen to know, I won't name any names here because it's not a case of judging the person for it, but it's a case of, you know, it's a relevant story. Well, I happen to know of an Instagrammer, very well known in this industry, that's in their mid-20s and never smoked their whole life, and then took up vaping purely because they liked the culture and the style associated with it, and are now a prolific brand ambassador for a very well-known manufacturer, and have never smoked in their life, and use nicotine in their vapes as well. Not just vape, but actually use nicotine as well. Have taken up an addictive habit as a result of,
well, fun fact,
drawn to the culture.
Fun fact, I was told the other day that someone who spent some time with J-Bo and Expo, apparently J-Bo told him that he'd never smoked. J-Bo, the designer of the Indestructible, who makes all the RX mods. Yeah, apparently he never smoked.
Very interesting, isn't it?
And the Tobe was very much at the forefront of sub-ohm rebuildables at the time. Do you know what I mean? The Tobe was game changing.
So
never smoked.
We've got a comment in the chat from Michael Scooby. I think, is it Scooby? I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your surname there. Sorry about that. When you smoke poison. Vaping offers thousands of flavors. No more going from one adult to another. What do we think? Do we think the fact that vaping is provably less harmful?
I think it is provably less harmful. I think the fact, there's a couple of things I want to say on this matter. Vaping has very much been sensationalized. I don't care what anyone says. All you've got to do is watch a video of an expo, watch a video of the different things that happen in the States, that happen in the UK, and they're going to look cool to kids, aren't they?
Yes, definitely.
So vaping very much is sensationalized. You know, what better way to look cool than to chuck a fucking great big cloud?
I think it's very influential.
I'm not saying that, you know, it's cool to chuck a fucking great big cloud. I'm saying, you know, as a kid, I'd have been all over it.
Yeah.
I'd have been all over it, and I probably would never have smoked.
So Sean's asking the question, what's the difference between starting smoking or starting vaping morally? Now, to me, this is where the topic becomes interesting, because the big difference is that if you start smoking, you are signing up knowingly and willingly for an addiction. Everyone knows it's addictive, and everyone knows it's bad for you. You're choosing those things. But if you start vaping, you have a choice to not use the addictive substance. The nicotine is not essential to the experience. So if you start vaping and you choose to start using nicotine, does that place you in a different moral pigeonhole to people that start vaping and stick to zero nicotine, or to people that only use vaping for smoking cessation? Where do the boundaries lie?
Again, the second thing I was going to say, I have customers that have never smoked that vape nicotine. Now, there are reasons behind it. I've got customers that have got medical issues, for example, anxiety, depression, and stress, and they use vaping and nicotine as self-medication, if you like.
Yep.
I also have customers that choose to vape for weight loss. Now, some of them do use nicotine, some of them don't. Some of the reasons behind the people that use the nicotine use it as a hunger cessation device. Nicotine takes away their need to eat. How often? I know, particularly, I used to be a teacher, and it was crazy. I had very, very, very little time in my life, and my whole life revolved around teaching, working, marking, prepping, my entire life. And if someone said to me, "You coming for lunch?" I'd have a coffee and a fag. I could get rid of that hunger pang by smoking. So I understand why they might use nicotine for depression, for stress, for whatever reason, for weight loss, as a hunger suppressant, as Ollie's just said. So I get it. What I don't get is people that take up vaping nicotine because it's cool.
Well, this is the part that I can't deal with. Is the only people I really have a problem with, that I really genuinely have a bit of an issue with, and that confuse me and that I don't necessarily get, are the people that never smoked, choose to take up vaping because it's the lifestyle that interests them, which is completely legitimate as a standalone comment. It is an interesting lifestyle. We do lots of traveling, we go to events, there's lots of nerdy stuff to get involved in, lots to learn, you make a lot of friends. Very attractive. Totally get that. But then they also choose to introduce nicotine into their lives. And it's the same kind of logic as, I want to start hanging around in nightclubs, therefore I'm going to take ecstasy every time I go to a nightclub. You can get into nightclub culture, follow music culture without taking drugs. You don't have to do the thing that could have negative connotations. And I'm not by any measure trying to say that drugs are the same as nicotine, not at all. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to choose the worst variable possible just to be a part of the culture, like a barrier to entry in any way. Vaping allows you to just not have nicotine, and you can just do that. So if you want to get into vaping just because the culture interests you, is it smart to then go down the route of using nicotine, becoming addicted to nicotine, and having a dependency?
Why did you start smoking?
Who are we to judge? But I think it's foolish. But why would you want to get yourself addicted to something without a need? You're kind of forcing it upon yourself.
Why did you lot start smoking?
Because it was cool.
Peer pressure. But smoking didn't give me the option of a non-addictive version. And if smoking had have given me the option of a non-addictive version, probably would have took it.
Really?
If the people around me would have not had any, like with vaping, no one knows if you're vaping a 0 or a 3 or a 6 or a 12 unless you tell them. No one knows.
What's the point? Does anyone care? Does anyone care if you're vaping a 0, a 3, a 6, 12, 18, 24, whatever?
Well, it depends if they know your story or not, doesn't it? Like, if people know that you've never smoked before and they know that you're vaping a 3, they might say, why don't you just use 0s? You never used to smoke.
True.
I think it generally, your responsibility goes as far as your friends, family, and possibly customers. I don't think it really is our place to judge anyone on why they start doing anything they do. You know, why do people avoid paying tax? Why do people have bailiffs? I mean, I've been watching a lot of that can't pay, take it away.
Yeah.
Bailiffs. And I mean, some of the people that are getting evicted from their houses or getting their shit taken from their houses, social workers, you know, people that own big businesses that went wrong. And it's like, well, how are you in a position to help someone else out as a social worker when you've got all these problems yourself? And it's just part of life, you know. And the thing is, I don't think any of us are in a position to impose our views on other people, but at the same time, I think you have a duty of care, so to speak, when it comes to friends and family members, to give them the advice and allow them to make their own decisions as adults. You know, I think if you put your time into educating people rather than judging people, I'm not saying any of you are, but if we're constructive about how we approach a subject and we say to friends or family or potentially customers, if you work in the industry, that this might not be the best option, or this may this may not achieve what you want it to achieve, then as long as you've made the conscious effort to address the situation and educate people, I don't think it matters. You know,
people should never be held to rights for making choices that they have a legal right to make. You can't ever judge and question and put someone in a corner for making a choice that they have a right to make. That's not by any means what I'm suggesting or condoning. Or my point of view on it is just that, exactly like you said, we should make a conscious effort. We do have a duty of care to ensure that our customers are responsible. And we as people that work within the industry should at least make a point of saying, you know, look, if you didn't smoke before, it's probably best you stick on a 0 nicotine, because, you know, there's no point in really just picking up an addiction for the sake of it, mate.
But don't you think that that's society at the moment that would actually, the majority of people, even though you'll say, I'm not a judgmental person, you will be judgmental at some point.
Oh, we all make judgments. Of course, we all make judgments of each other.
I mean, that's just society, how it is now. People are judgmental, so judgmental. You know, even down to what you're vaping on.
Yeah, but the point with judgment isn't really the question, it's intention that's the question. Are you judging someone because you want to put them down, or are you judging someone because you want to help them?
I mean, to be honest, there's nothing wrong with thinking that someone's starting to vape at 50 years old when they've never smoked. There's no issue with you thinking it's a silly cunt thing to do. The issue is when you impose your view on someone and you make them feel like shit, or put them down for agreeing for doing something that you don't agree with, because I'm pretty sure all of us do shit that other people would think, what a fucking idiot, what are you doing that for?
And that is the marked difference between saying to someone, you silly twat, what the fuck are you vaping nicotine for? You were never a smoker. Or option B, are you sure nicotine's the right option for you? I mean, you didn't smoke before. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
You know, those are two very different ways of putting across exactly the same point. Your judgment you made was, I don't agree with this person using nicotine. And one of those deliveries makes them feel like shit. And one of those deliveries will just make them ask themselves the question and decide for themselves if they're happy with it. What they decide isn't up to you. It's not your life.
I mean, just because we've got the moral high ground in this subject doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like me saying, we're fucking, don't interrupt, company. It's like it's like me saying, oh, you shouldn't be vaping. That's, you know, you've never smoked and it's probably quite bad for you to get addicted to something at this time of life, blah, 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 blah. And then turn around saying, you shouldn't eat McDonald's because you're already a fat cunt, you're probably going to die. Do you know what I mean? I'm in no position to judge anyone the same way that a lot of us aren't. You know, it's just the point is that as long as you know that you've I don't know, educated, given people the opportunity to understand. I mean, people fear what they don't understand as well. So it benefits us in multiple ways by educating people, because, you know, the media doesn't. The media will give them a load of old shit, and people are scared to vape and give up smoking because of the media. The same way that people who do give up vaping might do it, that might start vaping, sorry, they might do it based on, you know, that one bit of advertisement we've had saying, oh, vaping's 95% safer than smoking. You know, that might be the catalyst of why they started vaping in the first place. So you've got to even out the odds and just educate people.
Yeah, I mean, I know plenty of people that are in similar situations to what Mark was describing, you know, when he was giving that testimonial a few minutes ago, where they've said, you know, I've got a lot of stress in my life at the moment. I've been feeling the temptation to smoke. I've never smoked before, but I know that people who smoke say that it's good for stress relief. I've been feeling the temptation to smoke. I don't want to start smoking. Instead of starting smoking, I'm going to pick up a vape. And, you know, that's obviously better. That's obviously the best outcome in that situation, unless they somehow manage to just go, no, I know I'm tempted, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, it's like saying, I don't know, anything's better than a worse alternative. You know, ideally, starting to smoke vape nicotine with, you know, when you've never smoked before isn't a great scenario, but taking heroin's worse.
Well, yeah,
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
Having a mental breakdown because you're so stressed and end up, you know, I don't know, Chris Benoit killing your family. Do you know what I mean?
That was probably the roids, to be fair.
USA, the AA groups, they're pushing vaping onto like ex-addicts, like, you know, heroin addicts.
Yeah.
Because it's something that can, you know, to do with their hands. It's therapeutic. It relieves stress. I
think we can all agree that the process of having a vape, it is a relaxing feeling. You know, it feels soothing, taking a big old lungful of something and breathing it in and breathing it out, and that whole process it's enjoyable, it's calming as a sensation. You can totally see why people use it just as straight up stress relief. But I think, you know, we do have to find a point where we can agree that we at least say to people, you know, look, this might not be the smartest option for you given your specific circumstances. And, you know, I think we said this before with regards to loads of different topics. Like, if the industry as a whole could just come to agreement on certain topics, on certain points, it would be so much better for our PR. It would be so much better for how we come across to people that aren't involved if we were all always quoting similar things in certain situations. And the non-smoker thing is a point that gets brought up. You know, is it a gateway for children to get addicted to cigarettes? Well, no, there's no statistics to support that at all. The statistics actually support the opposite. But people still bring it up all the time.
Right, I'll throw a spanner and it works. If you had a child who was, I know, morally wrong because you're a lot younger than, you know, to have a 15-year-old kid, underage of smoking, and you caught him.
I'm old enough to have a 15-year-old kid. I'm 32.
Well, whatever. Just right. So you catch a young'un having a fag. You've busted him.
Yeah.
Do you encourage him to get a vape, or just not to do it at all?
No, initially, I try the route of talking them out of doing anything. But if I see that they're struggling to do nothing, if I see that they're consistently failing to do nothing, then I look at the route of a safer alternative.
Even though they're underage.
Yes, of course, even though they're underage. I can't morally stand on any pedestal, even as a brand owner, even as someone who advocates for this industry at every. I cannot stand on any moral pedestal and spurn anyone for underage use of a product that is underage myself. I can't do that.
Right. In a group, I'm not going to mention the name, they blocked and deleted the person because of the abuse they got and what they was giving back, because they knew that he was actually selling to parents for their underage, vapors. Now, to me, if it was me, I would prefer them to go down the safer route, like yourself, Stu. Try and wean them off it altogether before they even took a, rather than going all smoking or all vaping. Try and get it off altogether. If all else fails, right, vape. That would be my choice as well, because it's the safer option.
Dale's just said, like, we're talking them out of something, not be hypocritical if we've done it ourselves. With that, it's about where you draw the line. It is, in the strictest, most black and white sense, it is completely hypocritical to even discourage them from smoking because you smoked when you were younger. If you take hypocrisy at its absolute face black and white value, you don't have a leg to stand on. But you are willing as a parent and as anyone who's responsible for someone or something, not just as a parent, because I don't have any kids, I don't speak as a parent, but I speak as someone with a sense of responsibility. You are always willing to sacrifice a bit of face for what you think is best for the people you're responsible for. If you have to look like a bit of a hypocrite in order to protect your child, like, on those same grounds, like if you wanted to put your kid on a curfew where they had to be in at 9 at night, but you didn't have a curfew, you wouldn't be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to draw a line somewhere of where you take the hit and say, yeah, I might look like a bit of a wanker for saying this to them, but I'm trying to protect them.
I think as a parent, though, there's a lot of things that you tell kids not to do that realistically, you do. But it's like saying if that's the case of everything, then you can't tell them not to do anything. And it's like, well, no. It's like, you tell a small child, don't swear, don't hit people.
Yeah, you little cunt, or I'll punch you.
Yeah, don't put your fingers up your nose. Don't put your finger in mum's bum when she's walking past. And there's a lot of things that kids do that you tell them not to do that you do.
How many of you have got parents that smoked as you were growing up?
Yeah, I have.
Never. You see, for me, it was easy. Both my parents smoked. They both smoked in the house. They both smoked around me. And to get access to cigarettes was easy. I helped myself. Are we going to have that similar sort of life, that similar sort of thing with kids and nicking juice, borrowing coils, taking wick, nicking whatever?
Yeah, I mean, logically, you assume that's the way the culture's going to go. I
think I'd notice if a fucking billet box went missing, but yeah, that'd probably be how it is.
You can vape, just don't nick my shit.
I spent more money on that than I've spent.
Use my drill from the Clapton, just don't use my wire.
I've spent more money on this vaping gear than I did raising you little cunt. Don't you fucking dare touch it. There's a reason your school uniform didn't have the logo on it, cunt.
Most of these kids are smoking, vaping on fucking smock tanks, aren't they? The coils alone are more than their pocket money every week.
True.
See?
Is that Darcy asking for a vape?
Yeah. Daddy, the coil's fucking dead.
Mother's milk.
Bear with me a second.
Bless.
So, are we gonna move on to bonus shortly?
I think we're probably bonus phase shortly. What are we on? 9:30 now. We want to be done by about 9:45 tonight. Is that right?
Yeah.
We normally. Yeah. Should we bone?
Let's bone.
Should we bone? Everyone, yes. Jono, are you done with it? Are you satisfied?
To an extent.
No. Well, it's not fucking good enough for Jono, is it?
Cool.
No, I've been like a sponge. I've taken in what you've said and I've soaked it up.
You spongy cunt.
Guess we better bone then, haven't we? That's goodbye to my ugly mug then. See you later. I've got a screen share now, haven't I? You won't be able to see me.
I'm just gonna.
There you go.
I've forgotten what saved the boner is. Losing it. Who's gonna boner first?
Well, I've got some boners. I can start if you want.
Yeah, go on. Fuck it.
I think I'm going to go back to my old start in the middle and see what people agree on, because my boners this week are interesting ones. So my first boner is, for those of you who aren't aware, the FDA have now published their anti-smoking policy that covers the next 10 years, and they are looking at all the possible ways of getting people off of cigarette. They've changed their stance ever so slightly on vaping, saying that they are willing to explore avenues where safer alternatives are used instead of combustible tobacco. And as a result, they have lifted the cut-off date for the pre-market applications to be submitted, meaning that have until 2022 for all pre-market trading applications to be completed, which basically means that whilst they're still new products, they are allowed to continue selling everything that was on the market before August 8th, all the way up until 2022. So that's another 5 years that they can continue selling for. Now, obviously, that's a huge bonus that they still get to continue selling everything that was on the market for another 5 years, but they are still not allowed to release any new products for another 5 years. So how do we feel?
I think you should have done the news.
It's a fucking hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one to know how to feel about.
I don't know what to think, to be honest. I did watch a video about it the other day, but it wasn't a massive. It didn't massively resonate with me because it's hard to know exactly what the deal is unless you're involved in it. Do you know what I mean?
We've all got friends in America. We've all got friends that are affected by this.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of us have friends who are business owners that are affected by this, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think, you know, we have some personal investment in it. You know, I mean, the UK is something that people often that say, well, it's fucking America, isn't it? Why should we care? But look how many of our favourite products are American products.
It's not that I don't care, it's I just don't understand. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
But we can even look at it from our own point of view. Like, if these American companies go off the market, if they disappear, stuff that we love disappears.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to ever agree that it's a good idea for this that heavily regulated. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's about finding the middle ground, and I don't think it's, you know, with the time gap between now and what actually happens, it's a bit of a you know, it's a bit of a anything can happen. You know what I mean? In that time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we know about the hunter legislation that may have been a boon because it could stand to rewrite the whole law, and it could mean that the de facto ban that they've been faced with at the moment never happens in the first place. So it's difficult to know how much of a big deal this is. But what it does mean is that we've got at least 5 more years of our favourite American companies continuing to trade. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, can you imagine if Steve Kennedy shut up shop and stopped making any Kennedys? Like,
I knew that was going to be the example you gave, because it's very hard to pinpoint a product manufacturer that's actually only made in the US.
No, another good example would be all of Grim Green's juice lines. They're very popular. People really fucking love them.
I'm not saying that. That's what I said. You know, but there are a lot of products that are partially made in China, and I think where there's countries that will be able to get around laws or aren't yet enforced by laws, I suppose. I think not all products are going to die. They're just going to have a lot of products will die, because especially ones that are strictly made in the US and only really sell in the US, and the only reason they're available outside of the US is because people buy them and then sell them outside. Those sort of products will, you know, be drastically altered. But ones that sell into external markets will just, I'm presuming they'll end up continuing to manufacture in like China and then sell directly from China to those countries. But it doesn't make it easy for anyone. It gives them a lot more loopholes to jump through, a lot more, you know. And I mean, being an American-based company, even if your products are made in China, it's going to be hard to continue to retail your products in your country when all these laws are coming in.
So, as a boner, what do we think about the FDA's change of stance?
I think we should leave it in the middle until we know what's fully going on, you know?
Yeah? Anyone else? Any more opinions?
No, I agree. You know, it sucks. And again, I need to get my head around it as well.
It's a very double-edged sword, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm same as Mark.
Okay. So we're leaving that on Mer. All right, I'm going to pop this one into Mer as well and see what you guys think. So this is a bit more of a light-hearted one. This is the prolific nature of USB Micro B as the standard connection on vaping devices and chargers.
I think it's a standard for most products.
Well, here's what prompted me to bring this up. There is a new mod that Geek Vape have just brought out. It takes a single 18650 or a 26650. It's an 100 watt banger, sorry. Nice looking little guy, really, really sturdily built. And I was reading the pros and cons on this review website. And one of the things they reviewed down as a con was, finger quotes, non-standard charging / data interface. And I looked at USB-C. Now, we all know from mobile phone companies that USB-C is the next interface that is becoming standard. And
is that the iPhone, the Apple one? This?
No, USB-C is the one that's shaped like an oval. Yeah, that's USB-C, I think.
Yeah, that's Mac, the new Mac sound.
Chris,
oh yeah, no, that's Lightning. Yeah. So USB-C.
I swear that's USB-C.
No, it's not. USB-C is what my phone uses, but I don't have a USB-C charger here to flip off and show you a second.
Screen sharing, Google it.
Yeah, I can Google. That is a thing that I can do. USB-C. USB-C looks like this.
Yeah, which is what the new Macs use, which is what I've just said.
Oh, yeah, no, the Macs, yeah, you're right. The reason the Macs use it is what I was just about to get at. It supports a high power, high speed data function called Thunderbolt 3.
Yeah.
And the point of that is that it can support charging beyond 2 amp. It can support higher data speeds, that kind of thing. And yeah, Dale is quite right. I was wrong. It didn't, when you were holding it up, it didn't look like a USB-C, but it is a USB-C. And that is supposed to be the new standard now. USB-C is supposed to be what we're all moving to. Most Android phones are now USB-C. All the new Samsungs are USB-C. Everybody is going onto it now. The data speeds and power capabilities of high-speed USB 3 only actually work fully under USB-C. So what it looked like was this mod was basically getting slated for getting in early on the technology. And the thing that pissed me off about it was you can get USB-C cables in all the same places that you can get USB Micro B now, and you get a cable with the mod. So why the fuck are they slating the mod for moving on to the next technology when USB-C is better than B in every way?
Are they slating it, or is it just a con? You know,
they're calling it a con, but how is it a con that it has the latest technology on it?
Because it's not you know, I've got 5,000 micro USB cables knocking about the house, and I've got a couple of USB-Cs.
But surely that's your fault for not staying up with the times.
I'm up with the times. It doesn't mean just because 90% of the technology I use has a micro USB socket, and the 10% that I do use that has a USB-C, essentially to start with was an inconvenience. You know, this MacBook has got no USB ports, no card readers, nothing. You have to buy adapters for all of them because they're all USB-C ports. And to start with, it was an inconvenience. It's handy. All 4 ports, I can put the charger in any one of them and it will charge it. It's a bonus. You know, there are good points and there are negative points. It can handle a higher amperage, as you said. It's the cables are a lot less easy to damage. You know, there's a lot of...
So it also doesn't matter which way around you put it in. It connects regardless of which way around you put it in.
There are positives, but at the same time, when I first got it, it was a fucking pain in the ass. I had to buy an adapter to put a normal USB, and I had to buy an adapter so I could put like this phone charger here. Oh, it's connected, but you know, one end's an iPhone charger and the other end's USB-C, because if I wanted to charge my phone off my MacBook, I'd have to put a fucking USB-C to USB to iPhone charger. So,
like,
you know,
consider like batteries, for example, right? Regulated mods now are starting to come out that take 2700s. If 2700s do take over as a standard and 18650 mods stop being released, which is probably still a year or two away, but if that happens, are we all going to bitch that we can't buy 18650 mods anymore? No, we're going to say the technology has been slowly changing over the years. We knew it was coming. We've known USB-C was coming for years.
It depends, because you can buy 2700 batteries now, but they're not that convenient because they cost so much and they're so hard to get hold of. Do you know what I mean?
The USB micro B is shit as well, though. It's awful.
This is why a lot of people, though, release mods that are 2700 and 18650 compatible to take away the inconvenience of only being able to take 2700 batteries.
Yeah, that is in the transitional period, but that's exactly the same reason why USB-C micro B adapters exist, which on a lot of charging cables, you do get a USB-C to USB micro B adapter. Risa got one with her phone.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of people don't have them knocking about. If you don't have a phone that has that, you know, if you
don't have a 2700 knocking about, you'll buy one. You'll just buy one.
Yeah, I'm not saying
it's off because they don't like change.
It's not that it's an issue. It's the fact that it's just a con at the moment. When it becomes the standard, then it's no longer a con. If they change it again, this is why Apple technology is incredible, but it's a pain in the ass every time they release a new port, or they release a new socket, or they release a new lit cable. It is a pain. It's an inconvenience. So it is a con. It's not necessarily a breaking point or a bad point or a reason not to buy it, but it's still not the best. You know, it's still an inconvenience to some people.
So from a boner perspective, my point is how prolific USB-B still is, despite the fact that it's worse technology. Is USB-B still worth using, or should we be, as an industry, universally upgrading to USB-C like Geek Vape have? Should we be moving with the times?
Move with the times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, can we agree that USB-B is a pile of shit and needs to go?
Well, it's always been a pile of shit. That wasn't the initial, you know, stance that you.
Yeah, that was where I was going with it.
Yeah.
What I actually raised as my initial point is how prolific it is. And where I stand on how prolific it is I fucking hate how prolific it is, because I think it's a complete piece of shit. And I've hated using it the whole time it's existed.
You know, when I had a Note 2, Note 3, even Note 4, the charger port would be fucked after 6 months. But at the same time, you know, it was just what you had to deal with. That's what you had to expect. And this is...
Even USB Mini, which was the first version of a small
charger old PS3 controllers with.
Yeah. Even that was better than Micro B. Micro B is a piece of shit. The ports wear out so quickly.
Yeah, but it was the size of the...
Yeah, the size of the connector was much larger.
Yeah, it was the size of the component you needed to incorporate in whatever you were trying to put the technology in. But yeah, I mean, I agree, it's a bag of shit, but at the same time, it's just how it is at the minute.
So can I get away with placing Micro B, or is everyone going to go, but it's what everything uses?
No, that was never the argument. Stick it right down there.
Fuck. And then fuck off some more, and then keep fucking off when you get there. Running empty. Sorted. Right, who's next? I've had my rants for the night.
I'll go next. Why not?
Go on in, sweetheart.
Right, this is going in freaking awesome. You want to click it?
Go on in, let's big up. Oh, is this fucking Quick Wicks again?
Yeah, but I only discussed it before. I never put it on the boner board. I think it's pretty fucking awesome. Like, for instance, I was building before the show, you know.
It took you ages.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because I didn't have them on me. I had to use fucking this. It's just shaking it. And if I had that, I could just boom, boom, cut, done. But I didn't have it because it's in the shed, and it took me ages. For convenience, they're incredible.
I'm just being mean. At the end of the day, they are handy, aren't they? They are useful. Like, I just get grumpy about them because I don't like anything that feels like a shortcut to me. Like, I get mardy about stuff that feels like a shortcut.
Yeah, but stuff like that, like when you're at Expo or Fest and you want a quick rewind, bang on.
Yeah, like a quick build before the show. And it
you know what I mean?
It is completely, strictly speaking, easier to use than standard wicking.
It is.
We can boner the convenience of them, and I think they are pretty fucking awesome.
If we're talking strictly from a convenience point of view, I totally agree. However, my experience of them is that they are typically of lower grade cotton. They're typically not as good quality cotton as traditional wick. And that is why I don't tend to like them, because see, when it comes to cotton, I will only, on the daily, I will only use fuzz. There's nothing else that stands up for me.
Yeah, fuzz is better cotton than that is, but when you're out and about or you've got 2 minutes and no scissors, do you know what I mean? We're talking about the convenience here, not the quality of the cotton. It's like judging Quick Wicks on the design of the tin. It's not the cotton that's in question, it's the fact that they're convenient as fuck.
Convenience, fully charged. For me.
They were banging. The first time I ever saw these in action were when you were down in Vape Stu. With me, and is it Denby Child, Mark?
Yeah, Denby had a pack,
Yeah, Denby brought them. I'd never seen them before. And I was really surprised, just that it was literally Quick Wick. It was so convenient.
Imagine if you're selling an RDA or you're selling coils or whatever, and you offer a free installation with every coil, and you're at a show and there's 12 people queuing up. Imagine how much quicker things would be if you just shoved them in.
It's fair point. Fair point.
Really?
Go on, Mark, sorry.
Really?
There is a counterpoint to be made. There is one counterpoint to be made. And that is, if we all agree that they're worse quality cotton, you are going to be re-wicking more often with them.
Yeah, it's not. It's for the convenience of it. For a quick build.
To re-wick more often is an inconvenience.
Yeah, but not when you're just chucking a build in and you're vaping. It's not. It's not shit quality cotton. It's just not as good as fuzz or not as good as some others. It's. I was trying out this RDA. I was quitting a quick building before the show, and it'd been a lot easier if I just shoved them in, especially considering the RDA is so shit, and I wouldn't have wasted any fuzz doing
it. Fair enough.
And it looks like you've just cut off the tips at your trainers.
Yeah. The only thing I'm saying is really good about them is how convenient they are.
What ID do they support up to?
You get different ones. You get 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4, I think.
And what does a pack cost?
About £2 something, I think.
For how many?
10.
10. So 5 pairs.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Just you to grumble about having to spend a couple of quid.
Yeah, I'm frugal, mate.
How much are they?
I don't know. I think I paid £2.70 or something.
For how many?
10. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch them with a fucking barge pole. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna just say on convenience alone, yeah, they're really convenient. I'll give you that. But in every other aspect, they're fucking awful.
Put them in meh then, for fuck's sake. I can't be asked to argue anymore.
I mean, I'll concede pretty good.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll move on. We'll move on.
Oh well, if we're gonna start moving all Chris's stuff down, billet box is going.
You can
Chris?
fuck off.
Chris, did they do a range of mampons as well?
I'm going to put this in the middle then, and we can argue either way because Stu might moan about it.
Fuck off. He's sensitive little princess, isn't he?
Can I go?
I'm tired. I'm just doing my last one. Shut up.
What's this? What's this? Wire Doctor?
Wire Doctor. I like Wire Doctor.
I like Wire Doctor a lot.
Oh, it's doing that thing where it doesn't give me the big picture again.
Or you can see it there, can't you?
Yeah, but it's Wire Doctor. It's 19 gauge Wire Doctor as well. I've never used Wire Doctor, but I'd like to. I hear really good things.
Me, 21 and 23. I've never used the 19. It's a bit too big for
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really use the 19, but it was just the best picture on Google.
23 for me on low build. Billet boxes, squonking all over it.
It's
21 gauge on an RDA. 21 gauge. I'm going to say 21 gauge parallel on a series build, maybe. No, probably not.
21 gauge, 5 wrap, 3.5 mil, 4 mil.
Yeah.
Great. And I mean, the thing is, for me as well, there's a lot of effort that goes into it. It's triple degreased and triple polished as well. So it goes through like a big machine that sort of has these different, I'm presuming they're like attachments that it runs through. One polishes, one degreases, and it goes on a cycle through it. But it's just nice. Nice wire, easy to build with, really soft, looks nice, packaged well. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
What are you thinking? Where are we putting it? I like freaking awesome or fully charged.
So, as I've not used it, I can't give any testimonial on it, but I've literally never heard a single negative thing said about it ever.
I know not bad about it.
So I'm happy, however high it goes, completely happy with wherever the people that have used it agree it should go, because no one ever gives Wire Doctor any negative reviews.
Nothing at all. I've tried a hell of a lot of wire, and I'm not going to name names.
Mark, is that one of Lindsay's hands you've cut off?
It is, yeah.
I'm putting in fully charged then.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I know I've used a lot of wire over the years, and as I was saying, I'm not going to mention names, but there are some gash out there. There was a particular 21 gauge that I used that just was not consistent, and it completely put me off the brand. Hate it with a passion. But I've never ever had a bad batch of Wire Doctor, and it's all well. Where's my bag? I put the hand in my bag. 21 there.
I wish mine was still in the packaging.
Dilation. Yeah, go. I like it a lot. So I'd go fully charged.
Mark, what's your boner?
My boner. My boner. And I've brought this up thanks to a... oh, Ollie, what are you frowning at? Sorry. I'm going to drop this in the middle. No, I came across...
Is that Ollie, the competitive vapor on holiday in Lanzarote?
It is.
Oh, hey Ollie, competitive vapor on holiday in Lanzarote.
Using a competitive wire. So, mine. Has it appeared yet?
Here we go. Let's see if Dollan's will big up. Is this that fucking RDA fidget spinner?
Yes, I had a customer at Fest come to us, and he fucking loved it.
Burn it.
I genuinely just wanted to choke him or beat him or hit him.
Who even makes it?
And I will apologise if it is one of our viewers, but it was an absolute sack of shit. Why the fuck you?
I will apologise, but it's about to get fucking roasted.
What is the fucking point? Come on. Put a fidget spinner on the bottom of your tank so you can spin it on top of your fucking piece of shit.
We did discuss this before. It's been boned already. Oh. It has been boned already. I don't know whereabouts it was last time, but I think we should put it even lower this time. There you go. Spinner RDA, running empty.
What?
Yeah, it's already there.
No, I'm still having this one. Fugging or fucking or whatever you want to call it.
It's fucking shaped.
I'd never seen one. I can be brutally honest. I didn't actually touch it, but it looked bad. It spun bad. It was fucking horrific. And I'm going to bang on about this until you let me put it below. Where's the other one?
The other one's in running empty.
Don't get me wrong, right? I'm a big advocate of just letting people enjoy things. Like if someone's into something, just let them fucking enjoy something. But at the same time, what the fuck? What's the need for it? Fidget spinner. It doesn't need to be attached to your mod, you fucking doll.
See, I've got no idea, no issue at all with just a genuine £2 fucking fidget spinner off fucking Skeggy Market. I've got absolutely no issue with that whatsoever.
Sorry, I love the way you said genuine £2 fidget spinner.
Exactly.
Good ones, mate. They're not nearly as good.
I've got a stack of them somewhere. Lindsay won on them 2p machines. They've gone. Who's stolen my fidget spinners? You see? If I'd attached it to the bottom of my tank, I wouldn't have lost it.
Lindsay sold them all for £2.10.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, honestly.
Yeah, it's shit. We've already moved it across.
Can we come to it, please?
Yeah, it's in proper cunty. Just for you, Petal.
Cunt it up, Dollan. Cunt it up, Buttercup.
Yay.
You got another one for us, sweetheart?
Hang on. Jelly babies up your arse. What have I missed?
Andy Gregory doing his usual thing of questioning everything I fucking say.
What's happening? You might like what?
Because I said that I wanted to try some new wire. I wanted Cozzy recommended some really good wire that he uses for his building, and I said I wanted to try it. And then Andy said, "Why don't you try that cotton?" And I said, because I'm not happy with, but my cotton is something that I'm perfectly satisfied with. I don't need any improvement from my cotton. So then he said, you might like it. I might like having jelly babies up my arse, but I don't fancy it. I do fancy getting some nicer wire, though.
Maybe you should try jelly babies up your arse.
Maybe I should. Maybe I'm missing out on the sensation of a lifetime, you know? It could be something that's just missing from completing me as a human being.
Can you buy jelly babies?
When I think about thumbing jelly babies up my cornhole, I just think, don't really, it's not top of the pops for me, to be honest.
Can you get jelly babies with big noses?
What, that look like me?
Huh? Have you got a big nose? I've never noticed.
Don't you fucking lie to me, Dollan.
I'm being genuine, mate.
I don't believe you for a second. You hook me.
Never spotted that.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
John,
do I have another one? I suppose I could put one up. Am I the last to go?
No, you're not. Put that one up last. I can read your mind. I already know what you're going to do.
Jono's got bonus, surely.
Yeah, we got some here. Jono, I'm going to put this one. I think you said this one goes in running empty. I don't think we're going to spend much time on this because it's pretty much given. I think it's pretty much given, Jono.
What, children? Fucking chill out, Jono. I mean, I don't want them, but they're all right.
I came across it not yesterday, the day before, when I come back from Fest, and all I just thought was, what the fuck? On my phone, I have actually downloaded it and checked it out, and it's ridiculous. It is a app called Vape Master, which is a game.
We spoke about this back when Riyadh were on the show still.
So you go in a bar, it basically tells you how to vape, and you try and vape out the bar by filling up the bar. Obviously, I can do this with my eyes shut because I've spent that much time on it.
And because you're watching in your other screen, you fucking dickhead.
That looks like the Aspire setup.
Yeah, so yeah, you completed it because you vaped out the bar and you've knocked everyone out because of your vape. Sorry, but please put it in proper country.
What's that called?
Mark's
Dolan's going to be sharing his high scores on before the show's even finished.
After Jono showed me that, I actually looked it up on the App Store, and there's loads of fucking vape simulators where you just pick a different tank, pick a different mod, and press it, and it makes a fake vape. Top notch, mate.
Oh, that one in particular, you know, you can depends how many bars you actually run and stuff. You can buy different tanks, buy different batches, but I think
Can you get a Pandora on it?
Fucking ridiculous.
Can you get a Pandora on it?
No, they only got the clones on there, bud.
Fully charged then.
Are you ready to become a vape guru? Grab your mod and blow massive clouds to fill a room full of vapor. Beware of security guard. Beat your noob opponents in different locations like bar, theatre, or even stadium in this first vaping game ever. Change your style. Lots of items from haircuts to caps to eyeglasses and stickers are waiting for you. Upgrade your vapor and battery. Begin with low capacity battery. End with giant mod with ultimate vapor. I wish they're alternating between the spelling of vapor.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm downloading that now.
Complete friends in a vape duel. Earn points, rank up, and become a vape master. Hashtag Vape Nation. Hashtag vaping. Hashtag cunt.
Go fuck yourselves. Whoever made that game, go fuck yourselves.
We can call him out. His name is
Terrible cunt.
Sergey Tomashchenko.
Are we agreed on proper country?
I don't know. I'm downloading it later, but yes, it's proper country.
No, not a fan of that, Jono. Not a fan of that at all. You're making me angry now, Jono. Don't do that to me.
Sorry, but that really wound me up. It really genuinely did wind me up.
Yeah, Jisha's just said in the chat that game must have been made by a vapor. So sad. He's right and all. It must have been made by a vapor.
I don't think so. If you go through, read what I just read out in the description of the game. It don't read right.
Yeah, but come on. There's some fucking potatoes.
There is.
Right, my last banner.
Go on, Jono.
All right.
Go on, good, Jono.
I think this one was.
It's coming up.
I don't know. No, there it is.
There we go.
So this is a field.
It is Woodstock. Just to resemble Vape Fest.
Mate, Vape Fest was tiny this year. What are you on about?
Vape Fest was, to me, I wanted it under freaking awesome. Now, I didn't want to put it under fully charged because, although, yeah, the experience for me, absolutely amazing, being with my friends, being people I know, as a consumer, I felt that I mean, it is a handful of vendors, they were really pushy about pushing their products.
So what, having good salesmen in a sales event?
Not that, no.
Being pushy isn't being a good salesman, though, is it, Mark? You and I have both agreed on that before.
It's like, I mean, people try your liquid, it sells itself. But when you know that it's shit, I mean, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not mentioning names, but when it is mediocre liquid and you're trying to force it upon people, I think it's a bit much.
I'm inclined to agree with Jono. For me, Vape Fest this year fell just short of fully charged as well. Vape Fest I would normally say is fully charged, and I can't wait to go next year because I had a fucking great time.
I'm definitely going next year.
But something that upset me a bit this year was that there seemed to be a lot less vendors than last year.
No, there was more this year than last year.
It seemed like there were less vendors this year. I don't know whether it was the way the layout was done or it feels smaller. And there also seemed like there were less punters this year. The Sunday especially was very quiet.
Sunday was quiet.
And the atmosphere this year just wasn't quite the same as it was last year for me. It just wasn't quite 100% the Vape Fest that I know it can be. Because I know that Vape Fest can be fucking stellar. And I'm hoping that we'll go next year and it'll just be fucking incredible again. But it was like 90% this year. It wasn't 100%.
That's the impression that I got from, like I say, it was a handful of vendors. It wasn't, you know, like 10 next 10. Oh bloody hell, it's the same again. It was literally a handful of vendors that they were really pushy.
So I'm just becoming a vape god here.
Badger says it needs a raffle on both days. What do we reckon? Team free shit to make it bigger?
Well, it's not free if you're buying tickets, is it?
Mate, when you're paying £2 and winning a fucking Stabwood box, it's basically free.
I'm getting so good at being a vape god. I'm almost upgrading the battery.
Mark, where do you stand on it?
On what?
Where do you want Fest this year, Mark? On the boner board?
Yeah.
What, this year?
17.
This year, let's go for me.
Like, it weren't fully charged, was it? Let's be honest.
I'd go freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think freaking awesome.
Just because of the Sunday.
Oh, Dale's saying in chat, go on, Jono, spill the beans. Which stands were pushy? I only went in about 6 stands. Go on, Jono, who was being pushy? Name and shame. Name and shame.
I don't want to name and shame him, just because it's not what I'm like. I don't like to name and shame.
Changed you have, mate.
I'm going to say that Vulcan Brothers, they were pushy as fuck.
Hang on, was that a dig at me?
Yeah, exactly.
Now listen,
I was going to say, it was Vape selling Vulcan Brothers, and I know that Mark doesn't do pushy.
No.
And the fact that they ran out of coffee on Sunday annoyed me.
And the fact that it was £2.60 for a cup of instant.
Yeah.
That food truck that was selling instant, or the 3 food trucks for £2.60. There was 2 tents that were doing ground coffee for less money.
I only found one.
Yeah, there were 2 tents both doing ground coffee for less money than the 3 trucks that were doing instant coffee. And the 3 trucks doing instant coffee were charging £2.60 a cup, which is basically Costa prices.
Yeah.
That's a fucking piss take.
No, I've just seen a comment that Dale's put in saying no one's pushing our tent. I'm lucky if anyone bad James was awake. TYV, you know, I mean, no matter how many shows I've been to or whatever,
I got vape.
TYV is just one that is just, you know, they let you browse, let you do what you want. It's no force upon you whatsoever.
It's true. It's true. They even give you Century eggs and fucking bottles of juice and all sorts.
And California Reaper chilies.
Yeah.
California.
Free shit at Yorkshire Vapor this year.
Do you know what? I'll name and shame one. Fusion Haze.
Jono, what the fuck are you doing? We don't name and shame on the show, mate.
Fuck off.
Fusion Haze.
Yeah, I think they've got about 15 to 20 different flavors. To me, it's mediocre liquid. It wasn't anything special. There were one in particular that stood out to me, which were Banoffee, which is what Dan from Frostbox had. That were really nice. But then they sold out on Sunday. When I went round, he got to try every flavour, but like pushing him in his face. I was like, you know, I just want to chill out and that. But then when it were actually, I was just like, oh, you know, we'd say we'll take another lap and, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we might call back and it's like, oh, well, you know, you can get 120 mil, that's 60 mil for your each. And it was just really, it felt a bit forceful. Like it was just. But anyway, that's.
What's your last boner, Mark? Come on.
Mark's last boner. It's the final boner.
How did I know that was coming?
The Jono factor.
So this is the time that we offer out to the live chat. What are people's thoughts? How's Jono done this week?
Matt, even I'd put myself in proper corner.
Jono's performance on VTUK this week.
Is Jono someone that you'd like to see back?
To be fair, if he starts singing before the chat responds, he might be able to pull it back for himself.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, he might bring himself up to fully charged.
You never know. You never know. And then he could get the gig and all the free shit that comes along with it.
Could be the next Ed Sheeran.
So we've got no pants, nope.
Yeah, 2 of them were Kev though.
No, Kev's saying he's not wearing any pants.
He's typing between strokes. That's why it was on 2 separate lines.
Badger says nah.
Jono, start singing.
Jono was good, confident, and fitted in well.
I didn't ask you to fuck in bed.
We've got a liar in the chat.
There's 3 dots. There's going to be something else.
Come on, Jono, sing for me.
Squeal, Biggie.
Talk dirty to me.
He's having a drink to wet his throat. He's getting ready to sing.
Go on, please do that. Do me re fa so.
Sizes.
I challenge him to a sing-off.
Nice.
Is that like the rock off at the end of the Pick of Destiny?
Yeah.
I challenge you.
What a film!
Rock off.
Give us one chance to rock your socks off.
Who prevents me? Come on, Jono.
A long ass fucking time ago in a town called Kickapoo, there lived a humble family, religious through and through. But yeah, there was a black sheep and he knew just what to do. His name was young JB and he refused to step in line. A vision he did see it fucking rocking all the time. He wrote a taste of jam and all the planets did align. Dollan, don't you record this, you twat?
On YouTube.
To be fair, that was actually pretty decent.
Did you not hear
Oh, the dragon fell ablaze as I stepped into his cave and I slashed his fucking cockles with a long and shiny blade. 'Twas I who fought the dragon, fuck a lie, sing fuck a loo. And if you try to fuck with me, then I shall fuck you too. Gotta get it on in the party zone. Dollan's fucked off.
Dollan's had enough. Well, where are we putting Jono then? Where are we putting Jono?
Well, if you want to hear it from me, I'm out.
I mean, we can't put him in almost shy. That was not a bad effort.
Did Chris go as well?
Chris has just gone, literally just gone. He did a Duncan Bannatyne impression and then went. Don't know. Chat seems a bit indecisive, Jono. They don't really know where to put you.
Put him down.
So what are we saying? Pretty pants?
Did Jono win the rock off against Satan?
No.
We're not talking the cool Dave Grohl Satan from that movie. We're talking South Park Satan and Saddam Hussein combo.
Was he pretty good? What do we reckon? Was he pretty? James Clarke says leave him where he is. He was down on almost shite though, James. That's a bit much, isn't it? He is a mate. Can't be that harsh on him.
We should have left him where he was when he said he wasn't singing.
Yeah. For me, I reckon we put Jono in pretty good. I reckon he was pretty good.
I mean, I wouldn't sing live on the show, so at least he gets 5 points for bollocks.
He does get 5 points for bollocks.
I mean, he loses 5 points for going on X Factor and not telling us. And that monobrow, though. But he's tidied that monobrow up, so 5 points again. So Gryffindor win the House Cup.
Is the space between Jono's monobrow It's hard to say Jono's monobrow. Is the space between Jono's monobrow exactly the width of a Bic razor?
I think we should have another category right in the middle called Jono's monobrow, because that's where his eyebrows meet, right in the middle. We can put.
This has just been torture for Jono. Come on, we've got to give him at least pretty good just for the torture we put him through tonight.
We can call it Jono Brow.
Jono Brow.
I'm doing it. We'll put him right in the middle, and we'll put him in his own category, Jono Brow.
Mikey wants to know, how did you get on it? How did you get on X Factor?
We won.
What they do, they put you in front of producers first before they put you in front of Cowell and that, just basically to see if you can make good TV.
Oh.
And I didn't even get through first round, so.
Did you not make good TV?
High TV.
Yeah, well, if you like to judge by it, I'm not surprised.
How are we looking?
Oh, James, you're a bit late to the show, aren't you? Oh, I didn't know you had Professor Snape on tonight.
It's James, not Kev.
No, Kev would be Professor Snape.
So funny. See, and the Professor and the Kev impression as well. So we're giving Jono his own category, Jono Brow, and that's where he's going.
Slap bang in the middle.
Is that final?
Yeah, I think so. I was saying it seems a shame to waste Jono Brow as a category.
It does seem a shame to waste Jono Brow as a category. That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
Now we've run over by about half hour.
Yeah, so with all that said, I suppose it's time to say goodnight.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Any of you lot doing hangouts tonight? Because I'm a bit sleepy. I think I'm going to go to bed.
I've got a meeting tomorrow.
You know, getting your meeting tomorrow.
Huh?
You're getting your meeting tomorrow.
Yeah. First people that start work before 1 p.m. Mark Dollan.
Mark Dollan?
Yeah.
Why, Mark? You can stay on. You're not getting up for 15 hours. You can't.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll post a link in the chat, and those are the presenters that are staying on will stay on, and those are the presenters that aren't staying on will go to bed. Simple as that. Okay. So with all that said, I guess it's time to wrap up for the night. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Big shout outs to everybody that came and found us all individually, those of us that bothered to go to Vape Fest and helped make the weekend fucking amazing. We all had a really good time. And we'll see you next week where, are we final on who we're auditioning next week?
Yeah, it's an awesome guest, but let's not announce it just yet.
Okay, yeah, so we have someone pretty wicked auditioning next week. Not totally wicked, we had that last week. Someone fairly wicked auditioning next week. So
anyone else? We have got a handful of people that are coming up for auditions over the next few weeks. Anyone wants to audition at all, give one of the presenters a PM, just let us know and we'll put you on the schedule.
And well done to Jono. As much as we've bullied him, we do love you, and it is all in jest. Also, Kevin, I know he's had a bit of flack tonight, so just know we love you, Kevin. We love you really.
Yeah. We only hurt the ones we love.
That's true.
It's true.
You wouldn't take your time out to insult someone if you didn't care about what they thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I'm gonna wiggle my fingers and turn my computer off.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. We'll see you. We'll see you in Hangouts after the show.
Ciao.